Yeah, I'm Tim McEvoy, and I'm the owner of McEvoy Oil Company, and I've been involved in McEvoy Oil Company since 1992, June of 1992, and I've had a variety of roles at McEvoy Oil Company. I started. We were a very small company when I started in '92. There were just 5 employees, and 4 of them were named McEvoy. My 2 brothers, my dad, and then we had a driver, Chuck Bremer. And so my role was in the office. So I dealt with all the accounting that took place there, and over the years was instrumental in improving that accounting system as we grew, overseeing that. And then eventually in 1999, my brothers and I bought the business from my father, and my role at that point was CEO. So I was in that role from 1999 until recently, just a couple of years ago, when we hired Matt Groening to take over that role. But in a business our size, especially as it was growing, wore many hats. So, was in sales, never did drive a truck, but was in sales and involved in so many aspects of the business. But it was kind of nice growing from the ground up, because all those roles you were able to understand, even as you hired people to take those on. And then currently I'm the owner, the sole owner. I bought my brothers out in 2009, and so my wife Marcia and I are currently the sole owners of McEvoy Oil Company. A lot of times when a question like that, like the McEvoy name, what does that mean? It's interesting, as you have your name on the trucks and you have your name on the building, you have a certain presence in the community that we serve. It is important what that name represents. And what I hope the brand represents is certainly some real baseline things like honesty and integrity, but I think more than that, trying to serve our customers in a way that separates us by not only taking care of their needs, but also anticipating what some of those needs might be and being able to put before them some ideas or concepts that maybe they weren't thinking of, to help them grow their business and to be more profitable and more effective as they too make their livelihood in the business world. I learned several things from my dad, my father, but I think one of them that really sticks out is just the idea of being a man of your word. If you tell somebody you're going to do something, that you follow through and you do it. And you follow through to the place where you are certain that the customer is satisfied with the commitment that you have made. I think secondly is to do it in a timely manner. If you say you're going to do something, not only do it, but to do it in a timely manner. And I think the third thing that stuck with me is just to really do all you can to build a great relationship with your employees and the people that work with you. Build a great team and continue to develop those relationships, because they're very important and vital, not only from a business standpoint, but just from a human standpoint as well. We try to continually, go above and beyond in terms of servicing customers. And I think it started way back. And my father, in fact, just this weekend told me a story back in 1955 when he started the heating oil business. And there was a customer of his up on State Street, and he got a call at 9:30 at night, and it was icy and snowy, and it was up by the Armory, if you know that, on State Street in Bellingham, and had to climb the hill and actually got the fuel delivered so that the family could be warm over the evening. But I think what we have done too is just we've looked comprehensively at a customer and said, how can we help them? How can we support them? Whether that is by some type of financial arrangement or providing them, some type of equipment or something that will make things flow smoother from them. Well, I think a lot of the memories have revolved around the people that have worked here and the customers that we serve. Certainly, with working with my father for those 7 years between 92 and 99 was great. Having brothers and a sister in the business and all that involves are certainly some highlights. Challenges too. I mean, as you have family members, but certainly a lot more highlights and excitement. And I think, especially as we were young and we were trying to grow the business, and we were just really doing everything we could to see this business grow, really, and it was in those days we were pretty small, as I said, much smaller than we are today. And so all the effort to get that up. And, we've had a chance to celebrate a few times over the year with some anniversaries, 75th anniversary not too long ago, and we continue to look forward to many more anniversaries ahead. So, yeah, I think that, some of the highlights, we were recently selected by Shell as the #1 wholesaler in the United States. That was a tremendous honor. Had a big dinner in Washington, D.C. at the Library of Congress, and so it was a very, very special highlight as well. So, and just the many people that we have engaged, that I've engaged with over the years in terms of employees, long-term employees. So we have one employee that's been here since 1995, and Sue Vaughn, and she continues to be a very key component of our operation here. I would hope the company, the McEvoy Oil Company, in 10 years would continue to grow. I mean, one of the wonderful things about a business is to see it grow in so many areas, certainly from the standpoint of continued volume growth and continued engagement in more and more customers is important. But I think, too, just, one, that we serve our customers well and our employees well. Two, that I think if we continue to support our community well, and that is one thing that I feel very proud of. Our team here and the company has served our community very well, and so we want to continue to do that. And I think those would be the things in 10 years that, as I see the truck run down the road and has McEvoy Oil Company on, again, that sense of pride in knowing that we are a positive influence in our community, in the facets of employees, customers, and our community at large. Well, we have a lot of good competitors, and hopefully we are trying to separate ourselves. And I think the real key to that separation is to really continue to look at the customer. One, what's best for the customer? Try and put ourselves in their shoes. If I were in their shoes, what would I want? What would be of value to me, knowing what we know? Secondly, establish that relationship of concern and care and desire to really serve that customer. I think those are probably the things that separate us. Certainly, we would try and deliver our fuel in a very safe and efficient manner. We try and do our deliveries in a timely manner. We have a high level of efficiency in terms of getting our fuel to the sites when it's requested. So those things are big pluses, but I would have to say that the human element might be the differentiator. We've gone through different phases, I guess, in the company. I think back in 1955, my dad started the heating oil business. Before that, my grandfather, from 1932 to 1955, it was, predominantly they were a consignee at that time, and then over the last several years, we've had a chance to really grow the business, and then hired a new CEO recently. And so really looking to the future to really continue the growth pattern, continuing to broaden our presence both in our geographical region that we currently serve and potentially beyond. But we really have a core of really good, solid team that's really carrying the ball, so to speak, for McEvoy Oil as we move forward. So really excited about the future, continuing to find ways to increase the customer base of our current lines of business and potentially look down the future to see what other lines of business might make sense for our company.